Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode of Late Night Discussions with the 30-year-old Moron. I am the 30-year-old Moron, Man Boy Pat. Today, I'm just going to talk about what's been going on the past couple of days. I've been off of this thing for about 3 or 4 days, so let me fill you in. I was enjoying my Christmas with my family. This was the first Christmas where we were all able to get each other gifts, where we didn't have to write other names on the presents just because some person wasn't able to afford others, whether it be me, mom, or my daughter. We were all able to be self-sustaining. We were all able to buy each other gifts. It was a beautiful, beautiful, blessed Christmas. I really hope your Christmas was just as good, if not better, than mine. That was great. I did work on Christmas Eve, which was super easy. All of my customers made it worth my while. And if you guys are Amazon customers and you do little things like give out snacks, drinks, energy drinks, uh, cash tips, dude, we love you. Thank you so much for the support. We do feel appreciated. And even something as simple as a small bag of chips or a bottle of water, like as we're running around all day slinging 300 packages a day, that makes a huge difference, especially if I'm freaking going hard for like 2 or 3 hours. It's like 1 p.m. or noon, and then I see one of those little carts there, and it's got a freaking Gatorade there, or it's got a little snacky snack, and I'm feeling tired and hungry, dude. That is a godsend. Not everybody's gonna appreciate it, but just know that the good drivers, the ones that are going hard, the ones that are freaking going balls to the walls, trying to finish that shit as fast as possible, we care. We appreciate it, and I try to say in every Ring doorbell camera that does little things like that, that I do care, I do appreciate it, and I do try to express my enthusiasm with that sort of thing. It's the little things for me. It's the little things for me. If I really cared about big things, I'd be the CEO of multiple corporations right now. I wouldn't be an Amazon driver. I wouldn't be an average Joe Blow. But it's the little things for me. The little things go a long way. The little things express themselves in a big way in my life, and I love that. But yeah, so slung out my packages, got all that done. Hopefully, I got everybody's Christmas gifts there on time. That was my main goal. That's what I love about my job is a lot of people use Amazon nowadays, so I'm hoping everybody got their Christmas gifts on time. I hope everybody else had a very beautiful Christmas. And then even afterwards, yesterday, that's where things started to get pretty murky because the schedule said I was supposed to be in at 10. Then I get a call at like 8 o'clock, and it's from my company, so I decided to freaking answer it. And mind you, like I'm barely starting to get ready for the day. I'm barely doing my stretches, haven't even changed my clothes, haven't brushed my teeth, none of that stuff. And I get a call, oh, you're supposed to be cycle zero. For those of you who don't know, cycle zero starts at 7:40 while everybody else starts at 10. Big gap. Big, huge difference in the time frame. And so I'm like, dang, well, my schedule says I'm supposed to be here at 10. Well, you were on cycle zero. When can you get here? And then I had to freaking rush out to get there. And then me and one other guy are like the last people there. We're trying to freaking load all of this stuff. I didn't even like really organize my van. I mean, I organized the big major totes, the first 9 of them out of 21. And after that, I just started throwing them on because I didn't have time for this. I was already 30 minutes behind. I'm trying to get off at relatively the same time I always get off. I'm not trying to spend more than 10 hours out in the field. And if I'm in an easy area, 7 to 8 hours at best. So I rushed that. I made sure that I got it in there as soon as possible, got out of the station as quickly as possible. But God had mercy on my day. God must have went back there, or guardian angel, any powers that be. I don't know if you guys are religious or spiritual, but there's some powers that be out there that are looking over me, because this isn't the first time this has occurred where I've had to throw overflow packages, or I've had to throw totes into the van like no sorting whatsoever, and then all of a sudden they magically just fall into place. Like magically the one that I need for the next 30 stops is right on top. It's like the next stop right on top, the next stop right on top, the overflow box easy to find right up front. Like how, dude? How? Like that's either an insane amount of luck, or somebody's praying and watching over me, man. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep thanking God, and I'm going to keep thanking all of the powers, the supernatural powers that are in favor of me and that are looking out for my win. I'm going to give praise and thanks to that, because there's something beyond me that is helping me with this life. Mind you, I don't title these things discussions with a 30-year-old moron for nothing. Like, I am a freaking moron. There is a whole lot that I don't know about the world, and given I take full responsibility for it. It is my fault. I've lived under a rock for most of my adult life, outside of the Marine Corps. That was probably like the most social I got, was being in the Marine Corps. Every other job, I started off as a dishwasher, back of the house work, didn't talk to anybody besides the cooks. I was a major stoner. I still kind of am. I'm trying to get away from that life. But back then, I was a huge, huge stoner. So, like, if I wasn't at work, I was getting high somewhere. And it was usually by myself. That way I could just watch funny videos and just get lost in my own world. Because I had enough peopling for the day in my mind. Work was enough peopling for me. And it isolated myself, tanked my social skills. And I kind of picked that up when I got out of the Marine Corps, because I would choose more solitary work. Initially, when I first got out, it was still pretty social. I was still on point. Like in Baltimore, Maryland, I was working for the moving company, so I had to be social. I had to be talking to all these people. When I moved away from the moving company and I started getting into gig work and deliveries, that's when my social skills just tanked. I didn't even know that that was a thing. I thought social skills were like riding a bike. Like once you know them, like you're good. But no, that's social skills are a skill that you have to keep sharp, or they will dull over time. You could data dump social skills. It is crazy what isolation can do for you, or do to you. But I'll get off of that ramble. Yeah, there's definitely powers that be, that have helped me get to this point. I've made so many mistakes in my life, and I'm sure you have too. And I hope to be a testament that regardless of how stupid you think you are, or how much or how little you think you know, you're going to make it. You're living your purpose. You're right where you need to be, right here, right now. We all are. If you feel like any kind of regret, like you feel like you should be somewhere else in life, like you should be farther ahead, this, that, and the third, I'm here to tell you that you could have been farther ahead. You could have been in a different situation. That doesn't necessarily mean you should. Listen to that again. You could have been in a better situation. You could have been somewhere else. You could have made other decisions. But that doesn't mean that you should have. What you should have done is exactly what you did, because it's leading you to the victory to come. What you should be doing is exactly what you did, because it's taking you to your next win. Food for thought. That's enough philosophy from Moron. Let's get back to what went on. As soon as I got out of the station, after my whole debacle of showing up late, luckily I didn't fall on me too. I got pictures of that. Get pictures of your schedule, send that shit, save that shit. Do not trust anyone. I don't care how much they've made themselves trustworthy. This is business. We're not friends at work. Your coworkers are not your friends. It doesn't matter how much you guys hang out after work. Your boss is not your friend. Your supervisors ain't your friend. Your coworkers ain't your friend. Do not fucking trust them. Make sure you have the proof. So I have the screenshots still. I sent them, but I still kept them on my phone just in case something comes up. Not saying it will. You can trust, but always verify. So yeah, with that, after I showed up late, all that, this, that, and the third, I get out to the field, smooth sailing. Literally, the freaking station is the hardest part of the job, because that's the most time critical. That's the time when you have less than 10 minutes to freaking get 21 bags and 23 overflow packages with over 300 packages total loaded on that van, sorted and ready to go. And you got to be ready when everybody else is ready, because you guys all show up at the same time, you all leave at the same time. Or that's how it should go. That's not how it went this morning. That's how it should go. So loading up at the station is literally like the most intense moment of the job. But once you're out in the field and you're out in the real world, you out get to the houses and the businesses actually slinging the packages, it is a pretty sweet gig. I do like my solitude, for lack of better words. It's not always healthy because I do get lost in my own mind a lot, which is why I decided to create this YouTube. That way I'm not completely solitary. That way I'm bringing my voice and I'm bringing my story out to the rest of you guys. I'll eventually have to work on my social anxiety, because I do have social anxiety when I'm out in like big groups of people. I'm always self-conscious. I'm always afraid of looking bad or looking the wrong way or freaking looking threatening or looking weird. I'm always just so self-conscious about how I look, and then everything from how I look to my tone of voice to how my body language is and all of that. I just overthink a lot when I'm in big groups, and I don't know where that came from. That's something I'll have to take up with a therapist, but yeah, I have very bad social anxiety until somebody breaks me out of my shell. And then once the group, all it takes is the group breaking me out of my shell, and then I'm fine. But initially, I can't break myself out of my own shell for some reason. Even though I'm 30 years old and I'm a fucking man. Come on. You'd think that I'd be able to just get over it, but it's not that simple, dude. That's part of why I call it anxiety. I think that's what separates like actual disorders from just behavioral patterns. Like, is this something like I can't shake? Even if I were to fake it inside, I'm freaking still feeling everything. But yeah, if anybody has any insight to that or anything else that I've covered in this video so far, go ahead and leave a comment. My comments have been pretty dead lately, and it's my fault. It's a very new channel. I'm not expecting to blow up right out the gate. But anybody out there that could be watching, do leave a comment. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this wherever you can. Take my channel as far as we could go. That way people that think it sucks can comment and say it sucks. That way people that like it can say that they love it. That way people that just need, this low impact, non-AI garbo, a nice discussion with a wonderful individual such as myself. And they don't want to hear some know-it-all that thinks they know everything. They actually just want to hear some funny, awkward shit from a moron. Come over to this channel. This is what this channel is all about. Bring people to this channel. If you have people that are other morons, bring other morons to this channel. Bring everybody that you think would benefit from this channel. Anybody that you think needs a break from the AI slop, whatever it is. Share it. Drop that comment. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Now moving back on. Got finished at around 4:30 with my route, which is extremely early, mind you. Because if I go in at 10 today, I'm probably not going to be finished till about 8:30 tonight. Which is fine, like I said. As long as I'm not out longer than 10 hours. And I know all of you freaking warehouse workers out there that are working 12, 14-hour shifts. Oh, 10 hours is nothing. Back in my day, we used to pull double shifts in the snow uphill both ways. Okay, good for you, bro. But you're not jumping in and out of a van, having to freaking mentally stress over the most intense freaking camera system, Netrodyne, that's backed by AI. That AI is just constantly watching you, everything from where your eyes are going to how your head is moving, and then having to jump out, only get freaking 12 seconds at each fucking stop. And you hear me on my soapbox here. I would really love to hear how bad your job is as well. Leave your freaking experience in the comment box if you think I'm just being a little bitch. Alright. But I don't want to be out in that van for longer than 10 hours. Once 10 hours is up, I want to be taking that shit back to the station empty. if I'm out for longer than 10 hours, it better be because I'm rescuing somebody else that just got screwed and had way more packages than they should have. Because that happens more often than not. That happens way more often than not. Because over at Amazon, the AI, or from what I understand, it's AI that's really designing these routes and designing these loadouts, depending on everything from human capacity, the average package per hour, to van capacity. It's measuring everything. And then not only that, but even like the tote bag capacity, it's trying to determine how many parcels and boxes can fit in each of these bags. So sometimes it gets messed up. Well, a lot of times it gets messed up. So it ends up with one driver having like 400 and something packages, and then another driver only having 230. Which is where the rescue comes into place, because the 230 package driver is more often than not going to finish earlier than the 400 package driver, even if the 400 package driver gets to drop off a lot of packages at each stop. Why, you ask? Because of the overflow, because of the fact that he just doesn't have time to sort 400 fucking packages. It's just, you can't do that in 10 minutes. If you can, you are a freaking pack god. And I want to meet you, sir. I want to shake your hand, and I got some questions to ask you. But most people ain't that, especially if we're working at fucking Amazon. We ain't the brightest people in the world. If we were the brightest people in the world, we would not be fucking delivering packages, alright? So, with that being said, we gotta help people where they can. I've only needed to be rescued twice, and it's only because... Well, once was because of performance, because I just had a bunch of packages, and then the second one was because I just straight up got the fucking van stuck, and I had to be pulled out of the mud. So I consider that a rescue. But I'm usually the one doing all the rescuing. Let's be real. I run to all of my stops. I skip my breaks. I eat on the run. So I really have no reason to take a break. I don't like taking breaks on the road in a van. I mean, if I was in a semi-truck with a sleeper, and I had electric, and I had a bed and everything, and I can, get out of driving mode, then it would be worth a break. But taking a break in a van sucks, because for one, you gotta freaking drive. Like, if you want to go somewhere like a restaurant, or if you want to get out of the van somewhere, it requires you driving. So the whole time you're driving, you're off the fucking clock. You're not on break. And if you choose to wait to take break while you're driving to the destination, it's just going to fuck up your efficiency rating, because the AI in the Amazon app is measuring your performance in real time. So it's going to count it as, oh, you're making your way to the next stop if you don't hit break. And it's going to show that you took this amount of time getting to this stop that was only, 1 or 2 minutes away. You took 10 minutes to get there because you deviated off of the path. And then there might even be negative repercussions for going off route when it constantly reacquires. That might mess up. I don't even know what that would do. I don't know. I don't take breaks. But either way, a break in a van is just not a real break. I feel like taking a break in a van is just you like anticipating going back to work. It's just more time away from your house. I'd rather just skip my break. I'd rather get as many packages done as possible, get the heck out of the field, and then consider my break as getting off early. Yeah, I'd rather get off early than take a break, for lack of better words. Man, words are hard, man. If you haven't figured this out already, words are hard for me. I'm a moron. I'm a 30-year-old moron. So you're going to have to bear with me here. You're the one that got yourself into this. But don't leave. Don't leave. I need you, people. All right. What else did we do? Oh, yeah. So that was a job well done. I'm glad I didn't have any extra packages left over. There's sometimes where we'll have like 1 or 2 packages that like the station marked missing. For whatever reason, I probably just didn't see the package, and then it ends up being in the tote. And then I have to call dispatch at the end of my route. I have to read off the TBA and all that, figure out what's going on with the package, and then they can tell me whether or not I have to deliver it or I just take it back to the station. I haven't had that for the past couple of days, so people in the station have been pretty spot on. Shout out to everybody in the Amazon station. I'm not going to disclose the location, obviously, but over here in Northwest Arkansas, they've been pretty on point over this peak season. we're at the end of peak, so things should be getting a lot easier for other drivers anyways. And then we'll get into the different tier ranks and tier structures with my company and how drivers are ranked, how drivers can get to the next rank, how they are measured on performance. Because I vaguely went over the Amazon side of things, but for those of you who don't know, like, Amazon drivers don't work directly for Amazon. They only work for third-party companies. My company being Sparkle Logistics, and you'll get to see the ins and outs of, our tier structure, how we do things, everything from, how, because it's a good system. I haven't seen a similar system to this ever. No, really. Like, most of the DSPs that I've worked for have been very informal, very slapped together is what it feels like. Like, they just want to get the drivers out there, get the packages out, but it just seems like this company is trying to function more like an organized company, in the effect that they want to keep drivers, that they want to have S-tier drivers, A-tier drivers, B-tier drivers, and then, work on the C's. And they have ways of getting there. They incentivize a lot. There's a lot of good bonuses and incentives. We just recently had a Christmas party. The owners of this DSP are pretty good to us. They're pretty nice people. I just hope we could be better to them. The performance overall hasn't been the best lately, and we can also get into that in a different video. But for now, I'm just going to say that, I've been here for 6 months with this company. This is the longest I've ever been with the DSP. Normally I'm out for 1 or 2 months, using them the same way they use me, pumping them and dumping them and then going off to do gig work or something else. But right now with this company, I feel like I'm going to stay for a while. I'm going to stay as long as I can. I'm giving it my all. I'm doing my best. I'm not S tier per se. I'm at B tier right now. But I don't want to get too much into the tier structure. I'll save that for another video. Got off at around 4:30, which is about 8 hours of work. And then immediately came home, got blitzed out of my mind. Still have a little bit of flour left. I've recently cut back from the wax, not willingly, but because my guy, he ran out of wax, and THC is banned here in Arkansas, so that's cool. I have to get a cannabis card if I wanted to go to the cannabis shops, but not trying to dish out that $100 right now. I mean, $100 just to join the club? I mean, they're not that cool. I mean, let's be real. Cannabis clubs are not that cool, especially here in Arkansas. It's medical only. The product is severely nerfed. The product is very low quality. You can find high quality stuff, but it's got a price tag on it that shouldn't be on there. It's completely unreasonable prices for decent bud. You can get deals though. I'm not going to completely shit on Arkansas, specifically Northwest Arkansas. You can get deals, like I've gotten $15 Ace, and I've gotten $30 grams of, well, I mean, $30 gram, no, that's not even a good deal. That's not a good deal for wax. Don't listen to that. No, $30 a gram is not a good deal for wax. You want to pay 15 to 20 for like the, what do they call that? The cheap stuff. We'll just say the freaking cheap stuff. Alright, so the bottom of the shelf stuff, that should go $15 to $20 a gram, and then mid shelf should be $30 to $35, and then if you're getting something like Rosin, $45 to $50. But Arkansas is on some other shit. They be fucking having their Rosin like $70, $80 a fucking gram. Like, people could get a fucking gram of cocaine for that fucking price. Why the fuck would they get hash rosin for fucking $50 a gram when they can go? You could probably get fucking coke for even cheaper nowadays. Now that the demand isn't as high as it was back in the 80s and 90s, you could probably find a cheaper gram of soft powder cocaine than you could and get some fucking hash rosin in an Arkansas dispensary. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. It's fucking ridiculous. Weed should never be more expensive than an imported drug. It's not even just about it being a hard drug. It is an imported drug. Nobody fucking grows coca leaves here. Nobody fucking, I mean, you might be able to find people that grow poppy, but even then, like, it's not a high enough production to fucking warrant it being cheaper than fucking weed. It's still like that, like all these hard drugs, they're considered imports. Like, they normally come from a different country. So how is something that's being imported here fucking cheaper than the shit that comes directly from the source? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Somebody has some explaining to do. And I'll get off of my ramble now. Like, that really pisses me off. Like I said, guys, I'm a freaking major stoner. I've been smoking weed since I was 12. I hit my first blunt. Yeah, I had it in a blunt. I smoked my first blunt at 12, and I was a stoner ever since. I only stopped to freaking join the Marine Corps. And even then, I did it the right way. I got a drug waiver. Anybody could look up my name. Patrick Milam Hill Jr. 1522486 Yeah, anybody that wants to look that up. I did it the right way. I got a drug waiver for THC. Don't be stupid. Don't tell lies. But yeah, I've been a stoner my whole life. And then even when I got out of the Marine Corps, picked that shit right back up. But I wasn't like this. I wasn't a statistic that all these staff sergeants and gunnies were talking about. Oh, you're just gonna go back to doing the exact same thing you were doing back home. No, for one, I didn't go back home. I went to Baltimore, Maryland. I'm from Fresno, California. Two, I didn't go back to my typical job. I freaking upgraded my life and I explored the different industries. I had like 15 to 20 different fucking jobs before I settled for logistics. So, no, I just went back to my natural roots that made me feel good. My usual vice and escape, which was THC, which is THC. Because, I've been drinking alcohol here and there, but having that as a daily driver is not good for me. I'm not a good alcoholic. I turn into a fool. I have a bad mindset over time. Like in the beginning, it's all good. When it's just occasional, it's all good. But when it becomes the daily beer, when it comes to 1 or 2 beers a day, even just those 1 or 2 beers a day, that changes something in my mind and makes me either more mature and more aggressive or both. But it brings out the bad characteristics that I have, and I don't like that. With weed, it's very numbing. It's very suppressive. It's not good all the time. It's not good to have all the time, which is why I've been cutting back. But it's a lot more chill than alcohol. At least like when I'm having an extremely stressed day, I hit a couple of bowls of some weed, and then I'm good to go. Whereas if I drink some alcohol, I may fucking dwell on what went on and start thinking of it in a terrible light. And I don't want to do that. So, but then the big con with the weed is it kills my drive. It kills my motivation. I don't want to strive for anything. I get satisfied with just doing nothing. I get satisfied with the current situation. And that's what I'm trying to do initially by easing the stress. I do want to feel great about my current situation, but not to the point to where it results in inaction. And I feel like the THC does that for me. I feel like, although it's taking my stress away, although it's making me satisfied with where I'm at in life and helping me see the brighter side of my life as it is, I feel like it mellows me out to the point to where my brain feels like we don't need to initiate any more change. And that is very destructive. That is the reason why it is 2026 and I'm still in a very similar spot that I was in 2022. There are things that we have drastically improved about our environment, and I do dwell on those, and I do think about all of the improvements that I made, but I could have been so much farther had I just initiated more change, had I taken more action, had I spent more hours. There was whole days that I could have done something productive. I chose not to because I just got high all day. And that's not cool. That's not cool. It's not good. Do not let yourself get that way. Don't get satisfied with your current situation. There's more to life than what's going on. Even if what you're doing right now is extremely awesome, there's more to life than what you're doing now. You got to experience as much as possible. We only get this one life. We don't know what's happening. Ultimately, regardless of your religious background, nobody knows where the fuck we're going after this. You can try to have faith. That's part of why religious people have faith, because faith is not knowing. Faith is believing. Nobody really knows what's going to happen once we leave this earth. So do what the fuck you can on this earth while you can, and do it right and do it well. That's all I got for today. That was our discussion with a 30-year-old moron. There will be more discussions with the 30-year-old moron man boy Pat to come. Stay tuned. And again, hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, share this with anybody, as wherever you could share this, share it. And I'll see you on the next one.